Hey there. Welcome to your deep dive for today. We're going to be looking at some pretty interesting stuff I think you'll really enjoy. It has to do with long English words.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've got this document. It's called Pasted Text from day 22. And it's chock full of these long words, but not only the word itself. They give you the definition, and then they actually give you a real-world example sentence.
Okay, cool.
I found myself sometimes scratching my head at some of these, but some of them really made me laugh out loud. I don't know, there's just something about language.
Yeah.
It's got a whole story in there.
There's a history there, right? Every word has a history.
Exactly. So the document is formatted pretty simply. Word, definition, example sentence. We'll just kind of go through it. Let's just jump right in. The first one that caught my eye was the word momentarily, which is defined as for a very short period of time.
Okay.
And they give the example, the power went out momentarily during the storm.
That's interesting because momentarily can also be, like I'll be with you momentarily, which sometimes could be, a few minutes.
Exactly. It's all very situational, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. This next one's a little bit loaded.
Really?
It's the word inappropriate,
Ooh.
which is defined as not suitable or proper in the circumstances.
Okay.
And the example they give is his behavior was deemed inappropriate for the workplace.
Inappropriate? That's a tough one, right? Who decides what's inappropriate these days?
Well, exactly. And it changes so much over time.
Yeah.
What was inappropriate back in the day is now just whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Or what's inappropriate to one person
Okay.
is not to another.
Exactly. Speaking of not being inappropriate,
Yeah.
let's talk about spontaneous.
Okay.
So this word is defined as performed or occurring as a result of a sudden inner impulse without premeditation.
Okay.
And their example is their decision to take a road trip was completely spontaneous.
I like that word spontaneous. And,
Yeah.
it comes from, I think, the word spouse.
Really?
Yeah, like in ancient Rome, a sponsus was someone who vouched for you, who stood up on their own accord. And that sense of free will is kind of baked into that word.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So we've gone from vouching for someone to a spontaneous road trip.
That's right.
Okay. This one might resonate with you if you like to learn and grow as a person.
Okay.
And that's accumulation. It means the acquisition or gradual gathering of something. Their example is a little bit mundane. The accumulation of dust on the shelves was noticeable.
That's funny. But, when you think about it, knowledge, skills,
Yeah.
experiences, it's all just an accumulation, right?
That's true.
Layer upon layer, it builds up.
That got a little deep for dust there.
It did a little bit.
But I liked it. All right, let's keep this flow going.
Okay.
How about continuously, which means without interruption? And their example is the river flows continuously through the valley.
Yes, continuously. It's the essence of time. Unstoppable, right? Ever flowing. From ancient philosophers to modern day physics, that concept of continuous change. It's always been there.
Well, I wasn't expecting to get a little philosophy lesson in our word list today, but I'm digging it.
Me too.
All right, so we've unpacked a few of these words.
We have.
What else you got?
Well, as we go through this list, I think you're going to find that certain words
Okay.
really kind of resonate with you based on your interests
Okay.
and your aspirations. Things like the words responsibility, imagination, measurement, and recommendation.
Ooh.
I think these words might hold particular significance to you.
So you're saying that these words aren't just random. They're actually connected to who I am
Yeah.
and what I do.
That's right.
Okay, I like that. Let's start with responsibility,
Okay. Responsibility.
which is defined as the state or fact of having a duty to deal with something or having control over someone.
Okay.
And the example they give is, it is her responsibility to make sure the project is completed on time.
But there's more to it than just a deadline, right?
Yeah.
Responsibility, it's about the choices we make
Yeah.
and how those choices impact the world.
Okay, so it's not just a thing on my to-do list. It's more like a way of being.
That's right. A way of being in the world.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
All right. How about imagination?
Okay.
Imagination is defined as the faculty or action of forming new ideas or images of external objects not present to the senses.
Okay.
Their example is children's imagination often leads to creative play.
Oh, that's so true. But it's not just for kids, right?
No, it's not just for kids. Imagination is the engine of innovation.
Yeah.
From new scientific theories to the stories that we tell each other
Yeah.
to shape our cultures.
That's really cool.
It allows us to go beyond the tangible and venture into the realm of possibilities.
Okay, you're speaking my language. Measurement is another one.
Okay.
Use that one all the time.
Yeah.
It's defined as the size, length, or amount of something as established by measuring.
Okay.
And they give the example. Accurate measurement of ingredients is crucial in baking.
Simple example, but if you think about it, from the ancient Egyptians using cubits to build pyramids, to scientists measuring subatomic particles, right? Measurement, it's how we understand the universe.
Wow. Okay, my mind is officially blown.
Yeah.
All right, last one in this set.
Okay.
Recommendation, meaning a suggestion or proposal as to the best course of action. Their example is a little too foodie for me.
Okay.
It says, she gave a strong recommendation for the new restaurant in town.
I hear ya. But think beyond food.
Okay.
Every decision we make, from what career we choose to how we spend our time, it's all influenced by recommendations.
Right.
Who we trust, what we trust shapes our reality.
Okay, we've gone from dust bunnies
Yeah.
to the meaning of life, all thanks to a few long words.
I love it.
All right, what else have you got for me?
Okay, let's look at a few more words that I think really speak to your experiences,
Okay.
both personally and professionally. How about affectionate requirement and contribution? They might seem pretty straightforward, but I think there's more to them than meets the eye.
Okay, back for more word nerding. Affectionate requirement and contribution. They feel kind of different from that last batch we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's like we went from these big, huge, universal ideas to stuff that's a little more personal.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of language, isn't it? It can zoom in, it can zoom out,
Yeah.
capture the big picture and the tiny details.
I love that. Okay, so affectionate is defined as readily feeling or showing fondness or tenderness.
Okay.
And get this, their example is, the puppy was very affectionate, always seeking cuddles.
Ah.
Who doesn't love a cuddly puppy? But it's not just about puppy dogs.
No, of course not. Think about the different ways that we show affection to each other. A hug, a kind word. Even just listening to someone. It's
Yeah.
about connection.
I like that.
Letting people know that they're valued.
Feeling all warm and fuzzy inside now.
Good.
Let's move on to requirement,
Yeah.
which is defined as a thing that is needed or wanted.
Okay.
And the example they give is passing a medical exam is a requirement for the job.
Bit dry. But it speaks to a fundamental aspect of society.
Right.
We have requirements to establish standards, ensure fairness, create a framework.
Yeah.
Think about building codes that keep us safe.
Yeah.
Or the qualifications you need to have to be a doctor or a lawyer. Requirements can be tedious,
Right.
but they serve a purpose.
Yeah, they keep things running smoothly.
Exactly. They create order out of chaos.
I like that. Okay, what about contribution?
Contribution is defined as a gift or payment to a common fund or collection.
Okay.
And the example is each member of the team made a significant contribution to the project.
That's a good one.
It is.
It's not just about money, though, is it?
No, not at all. It's about using what you're good at to make a difference.
Yeah.
In your family, in your community.
In the world.
Leaving the world a little better than we found it.
Exactly.
All right, feeling inspired now.
Yeah.
Hit me with the next batch of words.
Okay, I think you'll find these particularly interesting. Significantly, documentation and appreciation.
I think these words really speak to your thirst for knowledge and your compassionate nature.
Ooh. Okay, I'm hooked. Significantly is defined as in a sufficiently great or important way as to be worthy of attention.
Okay.
And they give the example. Her grades improved significantly after she started studying daily.
Yeah, it seems straightforward, but significantly, it points to a change,
Yeah.
a real transformation.
It's not just about any change, it's about change that matters.
Exactly. It's about making a real impact.
I like it.
Okay, let's talk about documentation,
Yeah.
which means material that provides official information or evidence or that serves as a record.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
It is.
Their example is proper documentation is required to process the visa application.
Ugh, paperwork.
Right. So boring. But I bet you can connect this to something bigger.
Oh, of course, documentation is the backbone of civilization.
Okay, how so?
Well, think about it. From ancient cave paintings to modern-day scientific journals, it's
Right.
how we record and share information
Yeah.
across time and space. If we didn't have documentation, we wouldn't have history.
That's a good
We
point.
wouldn't have progress.
Okay, I never thought about it that way. Documentation is cultural memory.
It is.
I like that. Okay, last one in this set, appreciation, which is defined as recognition and enjoyment of the good qualities of someone or something.
Okay.
And the example is, she showed her appreciation for his help by baking him cookies.
Nice.
That's my kind of appreciation. But it's more than just cookies, right?
Oh, for sure. Appreciation is the root of gratitude. And gratitude is key to happiness. It's about seeing the good in life, the big things and the small things.
Yeah.
And expressing thanks for the people and things that make our lives richer.
Okay, I'm feeling all warm and fuzzy again.
That's good.
What other word gems have you got for me?
Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about
Yeah.
superficial functionality and maintenance.
Okay, they seem kind of random.
They do, but I think you'll find some interesting connections.
Ooh, a challenge. Okay, what about superficial first?
Superficial means existing or occurring at or on the surface.
Okay.
And the example is, she gave the report a superficial glance and missed the important details.
Classic case of not looking beneath the surface.
Exactly. Sometimes appearances can be deceiving.
It's like judging a book by its cover.
Yeah, you gotta dig a little deeper.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, how about functionality?
Functionality is the quality of being suited to serve a purpose well.
Makes sense. And their example is the new software's functionality impressed all the users.
Yeah, I love it when technology just works.
Me too. But functionality isn't just about gadgets, is it?
No, it applies to so many things. Think about a well-designed building,
Right.
a chair that's comfortable to sit in,
Yeah.
even a well-written argument. It's about efficiency, effectiveness, achieving a goal.
Yeah. So it's not just about looking good, it's about working well.
Exactly.
Okay. And the last word in this set is maintenance.
Maintenance, meaning the process of preserving a condition or situation or the state of being preserved. The example they give is regular maintenance of the car keeps it running smoothly.
Okay.
But I think we can go a little deeper here.
Ooh, I like it.
It's not just about cars, it's about taking care of anything that we value.
Yeah.
Our bodies, our minds, our relationships, they all need maintenance to thrive.
That's true. It's like preventative care, right?
Exactly. You got to put in the work to prevent problems.
All right. Feeling very inspired, but also maybe a little guilty about some neglected maintenance tasks in my life. What else do we got?
Okay, let's delve into a trio of words that I think you'll find exciting.
Okay.
Suggestion, discovered, and excitement. They touch on discovery, emotion, and collaboration.
Ooh, I like that.
Ready for an adventure.
Okay, final round. I gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Who knew words could be so entertaining? Suggestion, discovered, and excitement? They sound like an adventure.
They do.
Okay, so first up, suggestion is defined as an idea or plan put forward for consideration.
Okay,
And the example is, she made a suggestion to improve the workflow in the office.
very practical.
Right. But it's not always about the workplace, is it?
Of course not. We make suggestions all the time.
Like, hey, let's try that new restaurant.
Yeah.
Or how about we take a different route to avoid traffic?
Exactly.
It's how we kind of figure things out together.
It's collaboration, it's communication. It's how ideas evolve.
I like it. Okay,
Yeah.
from suggestions to discoveries.
Right.
Discovered means found unexpectedly or during a search. And the example they give is, they discovered a hidden treasure in the old house.
Oh, wow.
Makes me want to go on a treasure hunt.
Me too. But think beyond literal treasure.
Okay.
Every day, scientists are discovering new species. Archaeologists are uncovering ancient civilizations. We're all discovering new things about ourselves and the world around us.
That's like the world is full of secrets,
It is.
just waiting to be uncovered.
That sense of wonder, that curiosity,
Yeah.
that's what drives us forward.
All right, what about excitement?
Excitement is defined as a feeling of great enthusiasm and eagerness. And their example is, the excitement was palpable as the concert began.
I can feel the energy.
Yeah.
But excitement isn't just for big events, right?
No, not at all. Think about a kid opening a present on their birthday, or a scientist who's about to make a big discovery, or someone traveling to a new country for the first time.
Yeah.
It's that spark, that passion.
Okay, what's next?
Okay, let's look at 3 words that have to do with how we navigate the social world.
Okay.
Mainstream, benchmark, and challenging.
Ooh, sounds like a good mix.
Yeah.
So mainstream is defined as the ideas, attitudes, or activities that are regarded as normal or conventional.
Okay.
And the example is, his music has moved from underground to mainstream.
It's interesting how things change, isn't it? What's popular, what's not?
Totally. Like, is it good to go with the flow, or should we always try to be different?
That's a good question. I don't think there's a right answer.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to be aware of those pressures. The pressure to conform and make our own choices about what we embrace.
I agree. Okay, what about benchmark?
Benchmark means A standard or point of reference against which things may be compared or assessed.
Okay.
So the example they give is, the new model sets a benchmark for fuel efficiency.
So it's like setting the bar, something to aim for, whether it's in technology or sports or even personal goals.
Yeah, benchmarks help us measure our progress, and they can push us to do better.
I like that. Okay, last one in this set, challenging.
Which means testing one's abilities, demanding. And the example is, the course was challenging, but she enjoyed the hard work.
Makes you appreciate that feeling of accomplishment.
It does, when you overcome something difficult.
I like a good challenge.
Me too! Challenges help us grow.
What else is on our list? We're almost done.
Okay, let's wrap things up with a set of words that focus on how we interact with each other.
Okay.
And how we present ourselves to the world. Professional, substantial, and expectation.
Okay.
I think these words will resonate with you.
All right, let's start with professional, which is defined as relating to or connected with a profession.
Okay.
And their example is, she maintained a professional demeanor during the meeting.
It's more than just appearances, though, right?
Yeah, what do you mean?
It's about integrity, competence, treating people with respect.
Right, it's about being your best self, no matter what you do.
Okay, what about substantial?
Okay, substantial means of considerable importance, size, or worth. And the example they give is, they made a substantial donation to the charity.
It's about making a difference.
Yeah, it's not always about the amount, though, is it?
No. Sometimes a small gesture can have a big impact.
I agree. Okay, last word, expectation.
A powerful word, expectation, is defined as a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future.
And the example is, the team's high expectation for the season motivated them to train harder.
Expectations can be motivating, but they can also lead to disappointment.
Right, it's all about finding that balance, setting high standards,
Yeah.
but also being realistic.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to roll with the punches.
exactly.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From dust bunnies to the meaning of life, from cuddly puppies to the complexities of human interaction.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. I feel like I've learned so much about language.
It's been a pleasure guiding you on this deep dive. Remember, this was tailored just for you based on your interests and your goals. These words are tools. Use them to communicate better, to think more critically, to navigate the world with more awareness.
I'm definitely going to be paying more attention to my words from now on.
Good.
They really do have so much power.
They do. And as a final thought to leave you with, I want you to think about the word deliberate,
Okay, deliberate.
which means done consciously and intentionally on purpose. Think about the choices you make every day. Are you acting with intention? Are you shaping your life and the world around you on purpose?
Wow, that's a lot to think about. Thank you so much for this experience. I feel like I've leveled up my vocabulary and my understanding of the world.
It's been my pleasure. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep discovering the power of words.